So, for the business conference this year, we thought it would be a better idea to get more instructors involved in it. We asked some of our favorite instructors 3 questions, and here's their answers.
"30 years ago, I was in Edmonton, and I was in the Bachelor of Commerce program at the U of A, and I was like most of the students here. I was stressing out about exams and stressing out about marks.
30 years ago, I was working for a soul-sucking large corporation in a dead-end job which I absolutely hated, and fantasizing about possibly doing something with my life which is a little more meaningful, like maybe teaching students.
Just finished a 6-month around-the-world trip in which I was looking at whether or not I wanted to start a PhD that would take a look at the trade in forest products between Russia and Pacific Rim and European markets.
30 years ago, I was living in Edmonton, and I was working as a social worker for the city of Edmonton, and I had just had my 2nd child, so I was home on maternity leave. Yay.
30 years ago, I was in the UK. I actually just arrived in the UK 30 years ago. Starting my courses, as an undergrad at London School of Commerce.
So 30 years ago, I was in junior high school. Next question.
30 years ago, I do not remember where I was. That might give you some idea as to how old I might have been.
30 years ago, I was in high school, so not sure what I wanted to do with my life yet.
I was graduating high school.
If I can think recently, this would be at Grow in the North, and this is where a group of entrepreneurs started a bear company with local materials.
The best business conference I went to was one where during our downtime we were at Whistler, and I got to go ride a quad up the mountain and then ride a snowmobile. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to ride a snowmobile at this business conference.
The year was 1994. NHL legend Tiger Williams was a keynote speaker at the business conference. It was the most awesome and horrifying thing I'd ever seen. By the end of the conference, the guys thought, that wasn't such a bad address, and the women thought, oh my God, that was the most sexist thing I've ever heard come out of the mouth of a man.
Well, I think it was when I got that award there, term. And there's a story there, of course, is that I tend to engage my students fully and completely, and they treat me as if I'm the master, and they are the ninja.
I would have to say my most memorable moment at the business conference was last year, because I was a teacher for the course, so that was really fun to see the students put it all together and to take control of the whole show and do such an excellent job. I was really proud of them.
That was when I made a presentation as part of my PhD program. It was hosted by the Cloud Institute in Las Vegas. It was the first one that I presented, and I was lucky that I was selected as a chair for my team, and that was the year I also won the best paper award, in connection regarding the paper which I presented at the time.
So I think of any business conference I went to, the most memorable one had to be a very powerful speaker about mindfulness, and he actually probably brought a tear to most people's eyes. That was memorable.
Because I don't have a specific moment that stands out, because there's so many amazing moments. So I think some of what I've enjoyed the most out of the conferences that I've gone to is networking and meeting new people, and just having an opportunity to hear different people's ideas.
And there were a couple of speakers that stood out for me. The first one was Amanda Lindhout, I think you pronounced her last name. She was kidnapped and held hostage in Somalia and told her story. She's from Alberta. It was interesting, to say the least. Another one was Michael Reeve, who's a past student. He spoke for the first time after losing his wife, and again, something to see. He's done very well for himself, but it was a struggle. On a lighter note, Bill, something that stands out is this was a few years ago, and some students photoshopped Bill's head on a half-naked body of a young man, and had it up on the big screen for a very long period of time. It was horrifying and it was hilarious at the same time.
As much as you've been told incorrectly, the marks that you get in class really aren't going to matter that much, whether you get an 80 or an 85. But what will matter is the relationships you make and the confidence that you develop in yourself.
Advice for any gentleman in the program: always make sure your fly is closed.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Tested the ages is the path to success, the road to success is not always a 4-lane highway. And sometimes it's not even a goat trail. So failure haunts that path. Never give up. Never give up.
My advice for the students is that work hard, focus on your studies. The time goes by so fast, and you will be glad that you put the effort in. And when you look back, these will be some of the best times of your life. So just enjoy it, but work hard and focus.
Most of the students that they should have a goal in mind that they want to achieve, because a goal is like having a roadmap as to where exactly you want to end up. Like, I have a PhD today. It's not something which happened by accident. It was something which I preempted, which I planned several years back, and I even have a target as to when I will graduate. So completing it was something which was pre-planned and work towards to achieve.
Advice that I have for students, and I have some more advice for students. That's my advice.
I would say don't just read your textbook and ace exams. Life is much more than that. Speak to people. There's a lot of value in speaking to people, and read other materials.
So my advice to students is to never stop learning. So although you are going to finish your degree or finish your diploma or finish your certificate and move on, that shouldn't be the end of when you learn.
So I would say to not be scared to branch out of your clique, of your group of friends. You never know what people are going to become outside of the classroom later on. They could end up being your boss, could end up being a potential client. You don't know.
Kuala Lumpur,
Yeah.
the other part of Kuala Lumpur, with a lizard. And the lizard and I had an understanding. Well, the lizard really didn't understand me, and I said, "That is your side of the room. This is my side of the room." And of course, I went to sleep. And then when I woke up, where was this silly lizard? It was cold. So where was it? There you go.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Excellent.
Okay. Did you get that?
Kind of. It's just still rolling.
What's the second question?